Good afternoon, today 223. I've not been recording, I've been busy, but we have a little bit of a different look today on the front of the house. As you can see, it looks a little bit like a driveway. A little bit. Still got a way to go. We've got a roller, we've got some Marl. I suppose it's the first step towards us actually having somewhere to park, as well as a potential feel for what the driveway will look like. So this is the initial layer that takes us to the ground level here, and then there's going to be this is going to be the finished surface where the formwork is. That will be the finished garage floor and the outside walkway as well. So the reason why we stopped there is we've still got to do the service pipes there, which I might even do myself in a minute, so he's comfortable with it. But anyway, that's happening, and at the same time we're taking some irrigation pipes through here. So there's a channel hole here, and we're going to go for the floor. You know my luck with running pipes through floor though, not a great success rate. And then in here today, bear in mind it's Sunday. Oh, walked in with music playing, don't want YouTube to tell me off for copyright. So what we're actually doing here today is we're trying to fix the scenario here with the hole above the doors. We're trying to get the actual doors themselves flowing. Got plenty, yep, there you go, buddy. They're trying to do the upright supports here, along here. So they're being looked at. We've got more taping and jointing going on as we speak. And if I take you through here, show some changes in here. So we've got bathrooms starting to be installed. So toilets in, framework's in, plasterboard's in. Got to move that slightly because of the gap, obviously top of the sink, but the two units are in. That's ready to start having the plumbing done there. Other bathroom. Let me show you that. We've also got a white kitchen as well. You can see that. All the electricians have put the lights through as well, so the holes have been cut. This man's doing more plasterboarding. And then we've also got a bathroom starting. So sink unit is in. Plumbing's going to be sorted, toilet's going in. We use these cisterns from home. A very, very simple fix. Flexi on-off button here. Flexi bend obviously into the toilet so it puts in. Obviously two fixings on the side of the toilet, drill that down and the whole toilet slides in. This will all be painted and I'll put a worktop on top of here to finish that off. And there's the fittings. Matching mixers, etc. go on the wall as well. So the tilers have still got to come in and finish the floor Monday, Tuesday. They've also got to do the tiles, but to a certain extent, once that's done and the mirror's hung, this bathroom, to a certain extent, apart from the grill, is ready for a clean. Again, more plasterboard going up in here. Light on that. Plasterboard going up in here. Plasterboard's finished in here. The kitchen area is ready for the next coat of paint. Saying that, the ceiling's looking pretty good. Probably one more coat and that'll be absolutely on the money. This needs to be sanded down. This has all been filled now on the side, which is great. So we can actually get that sanded down, get that refilled on here, get that painted, and then get that sorted out. And then literally Monday, the kitchen is starting again. So we'll start with the middle island first. And then from the middle island, obviously back onto the floor ceiling units. But as you can see, it needs another coat of paint along the top. And then also priming and taping and skimming all the way through here so that can dry off whilst we're focusing in here. So the other thing we've got to try and do today is this boxing here. So that sun is bloody hot. So we're literally putting a 2x2 batten on here, and this will be plasterboarded all the way through. We'll probably have to shim a little bit here to try and get it to cover because that gap really is quite wide. But the gist of it is that if we can try and board that, and I would say probably if we can plane down another 1x2 or even 1/2x2, I mean something that's about 10 mil thick, and put that onto here as well, then that it'll give us a tilt, unfortunately, which is not what I wanted, but it will come from the fascia down to the back, and that will solve the gap issue. The other issue we actually do have as well, which is a minor one, but hopefully we can get it sorted, is that the middle pane of glass, this one here, seems to be rubbing on here. So we get quite a bit of wobble in the glass. So the glass is actually pushing against this, which makes it very, very hard to open the door. So we're probably going to have to take this bit of glass out and put it into this piece so it's got nothing to lean against. They're very hard to open at this present time, whereas when they're actually as they are like now, there's obviously no fixtures on the front. They literally move quite nicely. And there is quite a bit of movement in the frame, so maybe that's one of the contributors. But at the moment, the frames themselves, they run quite nicely when there's nothing in them. But as soon as we put this end piece on and it starts rubbing on the glass, that's when we're getting a slight problem. So we need to maybe look at that to see whether there's something we need to sort out. But that is one problem we are having. So we've got to sort out the gap at the top, and we've also got to sort out the running of the doors. And once that's done, then we can put the end pieces on and start building the infrastructure on the end. So that's pretty much it for now. I'm going to be checking out. Being a Sunday, I'd like to spend some time with my family. But there is so much to do. So hopefully they can get obviously filling and sanding and polishing in here, so that we can actually start getting the kitchen in with minimal dust tomorrow. That's the aim. And obviously get toilets and sinks that are operational. And hopefully the tilers can start coming in and finishing off some of the things that they've got to do as well. So without any shower screen, without the shower floor being done, we can't finish the tiling or the shower screen. So that's becoming quite essential. So anyway, apart from that, that's it for now, and I'll check in a bit later. 2:15. Can show what's going on outside. Getting the bobcat busy whilst he's in. I'm trying to get out here, tidied up. It's a bloody bomb site, literally. So we've got bloody great rocks everywhere that are going to be placed strategically and nicely as and when we're finished. But in the meantime, we got the guys just literally dumped garbage everywhere. So I want to try and get all of the crap that's not meant to be there out into a pile and try and get it looking a little bit more homely. And then we can decide whether we're going to actually put some soil down or whether we're actually going to bring in some more sand. But either way, it's going to look better by the time he's actually raked it over a little bit. At the same time, in here is still being plastered and skimmed. Okay, 10 to 4. Let's have a quick catch up on what's happened today. Nice white kitchen wall. Plasterboard that's actually gone up in places that wasn't plasterboard. Places like here, places like here, end capped. Guys have actually been trying to fit and finish this piece. So behind the door now there's some plasterboard. We'll get that obviously painted and filled, and obviously the wood has been done properly now down here, so that's nice and secure. Just next stage is actually fixing this into the frame itself. Windows, nothing's happened on the windows today. The guys aren't back in until tomorrow. Electrician's been over there actually sorting out the electrics in the spare room. Andy and his team are up here doing the living room. Boarded on here. Boards on here. We need to get this filled. Bathroom suites are pretty much just the plumbing needs to be done on this one now. So these are in place, fixed. Plumbing needs to be sorted out behind the toilet. The sink needs to be connected on both. We've got an electrical socket that needs to be moved up slightly because we have a worktop put on here. And we need to stalk the tiling man to make sure he can get that sorted. We don't want to be without a toilet, that's for sure. Obviously the dot and dabbing and filling. The electricians have cut all the actual lights out as well. So they're ready to be connected up as well with drivers. This has all been done in here as well. They put a chalk line on here, which is a bit of a pain, so we're going to have to get that rubbed off. It needs another coat in here. This is going to be dot and dab as well tomorrow. Dab that all the way around. Plasterboard's still going up inside here, up on the ceiling. So ceiling up in here. Ceiling here is already done. The rest of it obviously is just sanding down bits that haven't been done. So we still need to do the window frames. They've got to be sanded down. This has now been done on here, so that's got to be sanded down. These ones are done. This one's been filled, so it needs to be sanded as well, but we've still got to fill that gap up there. So this room has been sort of sealed up now because there's a lot of stuff in here that we don't want to get dusty. That's pretty much done. And the guys have also been putting in these, you can just see them now, like little bird mouth sort of looking things to try and help support the doors all the way along. So they're being done. That's going to be taken out because that's pretty much useless. We'll get that redone. And then outside, what's been happening here, we decided to go with the 2x2 option. So now what we have here is a 2x2 frame coming down. So that will just enable us to plasterboard along and go to the top of the gap. So we should be able to just silicone all the way around. So we've obviously got to finish the front. That's a bit of a pain in the backside, but I'm sure we'll come up with a solution for that. So we're going to do that on that side, and fingers crossed it will work on the other side as well. So that's the best way to try and get a limited amount of drop down going through. We're still going to have the frame, but at least it will just be the frame. So it will be obviously plasterboard paint down to the door frame done, rather than a step or you know, something else a little bit more ugly in the corner. Someone did suggest, you know, have you thought about getting some form of like L-shaped aluminium anodized in the same colour along? Great idea, but in Barbados, and certainly with the time frame we've got, I really can't see us being able to do that. But I will still look just in case, you never know. Not that we will be able to back out what we've done now. And we've also still got to look at doing this as well. So we've got to look at ideally putting some form of, again, really we've got lots of 2x2. So if we can do 2x2 great. The downside we do have obviously is there's conduit now coming out, and we've now got a width height issue. So the 2x2 will cover some of it. But some of these conduits we'll have to think about what to do. But if we can get them redundant and cut off, then we might be able to continue with it. But as you can see, these ones here, they really are coming down quite low. So I'm really not too sure what we're going to be able to do about that. As you can see, they're being used and they're really far down. So would I rather go with a 2x2 option and maybe have a couple of conduits sitting down like that? Don't really want to, but we might be able to obviously might be able to find another way around it. Let's think on it. But I definitely think we need to go with a 2x2 option along here, so we don't have a massive depth, and then we can plasterboard all it with a concrete board, and then also then get this fascia here finished off, because that's still the only thing we're waiting on, and that's just because of the underneath here. So I might actually get that underway next week when we're actually in. So other than that, we did have the Bobcat man around here for a little bit whilst he was in between the marling of the driveway. He did get stuck, which is quite amusing. How can a bobcat get stuck? But he just literally gave it a quick cleanse around here, because it is a bloody bomb site. So he's just scooped over it, got all the crap out, and started creating a little pile. So that pile, no doubt, will still keep getting bigger over the next day or two. So at some stage, we'll obviously get that taken away in a lorry. May as well wait for one big load to be taken rather than doing it in separate pieces. Other than that, it's just obviously been the marling of the driveway, playing around with the doors and the framing around the top, more plasterboarding, filling and sanding, and the bathrooms today really. Tomorrow we're going to give another coat of paint on here, and then the actual kitchen will go in tomorrow, so that's going to start. So fingers crossed we'll start getting units connected together, balanced up, appliances put in, and then some form of, you know, start working towards getting the actual kitchen top put in. So that'll be a nice thing to do. Other than that, that's pretty much where we are so far. So end of play now, and I'll check in tomorrow. Thanks for watching.